Alright, well, I'm going to try to make a video. This weed eater right here, the column right here that holds on the handlebars snapped off. So what we're going to do is fix it and make it better, hopefully. I'm going to make a new clamp piece right here that's going to go to the shaft of the weed eater, probably about this long. Split it in half. And then with this, I'm going to cut some strips out of it and weld it to each half of this clamp. And then with some bolts I got over there, I'm going to bolt it together and clamp it down. And that's going to be for the shaft. And then the piece that holds on the handlebars, these handlebars, you can see that piece right there. I'm going to cut another clamp piece out of this material, do the same thing, split it down the middle, weld on some strips, and then bolt it down and clamp everything together. And then I'm going to weld this top part, which is going to be for the handles, onto this part, which is going to be like this column right here, and then weld that vertical onto another piece of this, which is going to have those holes that are going to clamp it down. That's going to be the horizontal clamp. So it's going to look like almost like an eye, kind of like this. Clamp, column, and then another clamp. And that's going to be all welded together and then bolted and clamped. So it should hold up a lot better than this plastic. Alright, so now we just got to disassemble this. There's a crazy amount of bolts holding it together for no reason. Here's what they originally had, kind of the same thing as what I'm going to do. There's a split piece of metal that has a bolt going through it that clamps everything tight. So that's that. Here's the tool that came with it to disassemble it. See how this turns out. So that's basically the same thing I'm going to do as well, just on a bigger scale. 2 clamshell pieces that go together with bolts that clamps everything down. Alright, for this piece that's going to go onto the shaft of the weed eater, alright, we'll probably go probably go about 6 inches. I think 6 inches is going to be good. So we got that. Let me look for a pipe wrap to get a squared off cut. Couldn't find a pipe wrap, but this is basically the same thing. We'll just line these up. With the edges flush, and then scoot it to our mark. Right there. And then just follow it around. and that'll give us a flush cut all the way across. So for the tabs, I'm gonna have to cut it 6 inches as well. Speed square, just have a straight cut. And I'm gonna need 4 tabs for this piece. So I should be able to get 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Bam, 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 bam. Something like that. And then just, we're gonna split it down there and down there. So it's just going to be a flat piece of metal. So that's good. Then on this, we probably need, I'd say, a 3-inch section. That'll be good. So, let's say from right there, which is 2.5 inches. So go 3 inches from that, 5.5 inches. That would give us a 3-inch section. And then we're just going to cut it there, split it down the middle. Some strips for this. So 3-inch section right here. And then this should be good, and we can so we're just going to cut this off with an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it. Don't forget gloves and safety glasses if you're going to do this. It can shoot sparks back out at you and just ruin your day. So, there we have it. Alright, so now we're going to cut this clamshell now too. And there we have it. Alright, so I went ahead and marked these out. That's what I'm going to cut out. Those are going to be the 2 short strips for the top clamp, and we'll go ahead and cut them out. So these are the 2 strips that I cut out. I'm going to clean these up and get them ready for welding. These are all clean. So now we're going to start cutting out these longer strips for the clamp that goes onto the shaft. Alright, so off camera I went ahead and marked this out because it took a little thinking about how to do it right. And clamp this up, and then cut it in half. Alright, so I moved the camera around a little bit to get a better shot of it. And now we're gonna see how this wants to work. That worked pretty good. So now we got our 2 pieces of our clamshell. Alright, so I got that small clamshell put into the vise, and now I'm about to cut that. So now that's cut. So I'm getting ready to coat this section of pipe that's going to be for the vertical part of that holder. So I'm going to center punch this a few times. And then get a hole saw the same diameter as this pipe. And there we go. We just got to clean up that a little bit and it should work just fine. Alright, so I was going and cutting this other side to cope it the opposite of this, but the center drill bit on this hole saw snapped. So what I'm going to have to do is go ahead and cut this off and then cope it by hand with the grinder and a flap disc to smooth it all out, and we'll see how well that works. So I had to figure out how I was going to spread this open off camera. So what I did was I took the angle grinder with the cutoff wheel and scored the inside of this pipe on the back side. And then I spread it open with a screwdriver a little bit at first. I put it in there and turned it to spread it open some. And then I chucked it in the vise and wrenched it sideways back and forth and spread it and spread it and spread it some more. So now this can fit in there, and then all I got to do is squeeze it shut around there. We're going to put a piece of rubber on the inside of this to take up a little bit of slack so it bites down on it good. And then I'm about to start welding on the 2 tabs that are going to mechanically close this all the way with screws. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is just put a little tack weld on there to hold it still first. Alright, so I'm going to put 2 little tack welds here and here to hold it straight so I can weld it on the other side. So now I'm going to just stitch weld it, which means you do a little weld, you stop, you do a little weld, you stop, and so on until you finish that length of weld. We're on the long side of the clamp now, or the long clamp itself. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on the short one. It doesn't like the magnet. Not at all. So now I'm just straightening it out a little bit, getting it fitted up right. It's doing like, I don't even know how many. Okay, so that side's all tacked up, and I'll go ahead and put on this other piece as well. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because everything's hot now. Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Why did you do that? You got hot?
Yeah. I was having to squeeze that shut, and yeah. Alright, so all of that's all tacked up, ready to go. I'll flip it over to this back side and start welding it.
that's that. Alright, y'all. Well, this is going to be part one of 2 parts. It's getting dark right now. So what we have to finish doing is we have to set these bars in the top of this mount. Then we have to make holes so we can put the 2 clamshells together, like this. So it can seat on here, just like that. And we also need to clean up all the welds, all the metal, spray paint it, and then start using it. So we'll get it back out in the woods. But yeah, so far, looks like it's coming together well. I just don't have enough time today to finish it, so we're going to make it the beginning of tomorrow's video will be the finishing project of this, and then a little bit of work. And yeah, we're going to check on our chickens again. It'll be day 4 of us owning them at that point. So until next time, go ahead, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, and go watch our other videos.